I hope you've seen the news headline. The new First Presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will be announced today, October 14th at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. This is very significant. A few days ago, I posted on social media saying, what if the First Presidency reorganization were announced on October 14th? That would be very significant. Here's why that would be significant. President Nelson's funeral was held on October 7th, the first day of Israel's Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles symbolizes the resurrection and our eternal condition. President Nelson spent his life professionally as a heart surgeon. He knew the human body very well, and he spent his ministry constantly teaching and reminding us of the eternal truth taught by Joseph Smith, that the great principle of happiness consists in having a body, and that our actions here on earth will determine the kind of body with which we will be resurrected, those with whom we will live forever, and where we will live forever. Literally speaking, this is our tabernacles, and those with whom we will share them forever. This is the meaning of the Feast of Tabernacles. And it's very interesting also that on the other end, October 14th, that is the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. And to this day, the customs of the Jews hold that this is a prefiguration of the Day of Judgment. That is to say, it is a dress rehearsal for that event. And there's a procession, a Hosanna shout with palm branches on what is called the Great and Last Day, the last day of this holiest of feasts. That language, by the way, is scriptural. The Great and Last Day is a phrase that occurs numerous times in the Book of Mormon and in the Doctrine and Covenants, Restoration Scripture, referring to the Day of Judgment. And isn't that interesting that the brother who will be announced as prophet and president of the church today happens to be professionally a judge? I think that's very significant. And we've known for a long time that the Lord has commanded that his general conferences of the church be held on a time frame that very closely approximates the ancient feast days of Israel, the spring feasts and the fall feasts. But he tends to reserve observances of the exact feast days for signal events. I believe this is such a signal event. I hope you'll tune into the broadcast. The link is in the description.